single data points. Enes Kanter and Alec Burks, day one of Summer League. Andre Karolinko, the corner three, the San Antonio Spurs. Don't worry, those three aren't related. It's all coming up next on Tip-Off. Boom, 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 boom. The jokes about Dwight Howard have become absolutely hysterical. Boom, 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 boom. The best one yet was the 2014 trade. Orlando accidentally trades Dwight Howard back to themselves. Boom, 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 boom. Or the one by somebody else. The Seattle Supersonics have been reinstated in the NBA because there aren't enough teams yet to complete the trade for Dwight Howard. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know what will happen with Dwight Howard. He's going to get traded. I think he's going to end up in New Jersey. Atlanta has gotten into the mix. Houston is still trying. I actually kind of think that we're eerily close to a deal that gets Dwight Howard to New Jersey, and then Darren is the big winner in this process, as are the Nets. However, I also think we're kind of at base one. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to the Tuesday edition. Jazz will play in about an hour and a half, and I'll break down that for you on We Are Utah Jazz, as well as up on this tomorrow morning. There might be some delays. I've got some things today that, I don't know, I wasn't intending to do, but I have been told I will. Happened yesterday also. So, Jeff Hornacek, by the way, has been interviewed and is a candidate for the Orlando Magic job. That was broken by Steve Loom yesterday. Joshua Robbins of the Orlando Sentinel reported this morning that he interviewed for the job last night. That's the third time Jeff's interviewed for a job, so let's hope for his sake that something breaks for him. It's kind of it's interesting. People like him, and he just doesn't quite have the resume to get there, but I think at some point someone's going to decide that the resume doesn't matter all the way, and that he's got a vision on how to play the game and what to do, and it'll be interesting to see how his coaching career goes. I'm a little stunned. I don't know if I'm stunned. Maybe it's just where we are. It probably relates to yesterday's opening conversation about the great comment from Travis Henderson about the passion of fans and allowing fans to be fans. Oh, and by the way, on that note, my eye is better. It took till literally 4 o'clock yesterday, though. It was like bruised or something. Beast. My 4'11" beast beat the crap out of me in the middle of the night. If you believe the story right, I mean, you can believe the middle of the night, eye closed, finger somehow pokes me in the eye story, or you can believe that my wife just kicked the crap out of me. Or I got a bar fight. I mean, there's probably good stories to everything. I always forget that, I tell the truth on a story, and then there's some variation of what people just kind of naturally assume is not accurate. But if I got in a bar fight, I'm not tough enough, man. I'd really have had my butt kicked, and you'd see a lot more than just the gray bags under my eyes on YouTube. So this probably relates a little bit to the comment yesterday that I shared about Travis, where he's, hey, just that's the essence of fans and the passion, and that's what being fans are, and sometimes accuracy isn't necessarily actually a part of the equation, and you shouldn't worry about it. It was really, I thought it was a great kind of point on his point that's kind of what the enjoyment of fans is kind of putting yourself through the roller coaster. I would say, though, I'm a bit stunned overall. Maybe this is just Twitter. I think this is actually what Twitter has done. Single data points lead to immense reaction. I also think it's a Fox News, MSNBC phenomena that they're trying to create news cycles. I'm not sure what CNN does. They're trying to create news cycles with such regularity that we're looking for the data point that creates the reaction, and in turn we've created this phenomenon where every time there is a data point, there is a reaction. By the way, if you're not watching Newsroom on HBO, and you have HBO, you should. It's just terrific. Last night I watched it, and I was going to watch 20 minutes of it and couldn't turn it off. Couldn't turn it off. It's just brilliant. So, here's my point. And it's twofold. There's a bunch of data points floating around. One was the idea that some guy who I've never heard of in my life tweeted out that Favors hadn't played very well offensively, and people just started to freak. or some people did. Okay, Favors isn't very good offensively. And the season ended in May, and it's July. How did you think he was going to get good offensively in 45 days? So, like, what I thought was really interesting in this one is Favors isn't very good offensively. He needs a lot of work with both his footwork and regular moves and figuring some things out, and it's going to really take some time. And he probably isn't going to do much of any of that between now and, I mean, he'll probably start working on it, hopefully, with some good coach in August or September. Um, but like somebody else said it, we kind of had this big reaction. Same way, like I've been given information on how people have played in that, but it's confidential, so I'm not able to use all of it. But I mean, one of Gordon supposedly had a really good day one day. Like I don't want to get into specifics, but I mean like a great day. Like do we take that to mean he's going to be an all-star? No, like that's who Gordon is, and like if Gordon has a great day and doesn't have a very good day the next, that's kind of who he is right now. Like I don't know, I'm just a bit stunned. And the other thing I'm trying not to advise how to be a fan. That's kind of my whole point of that Travis piece. But this is a wonderful game. The NBA is a really wonderful game, the game of basketball, because there's so many different things in the eye of different beholders. I mean, like Derek Williams went 2 last year in the draft. I didn't like much of his game at all, and I know different people in the league who don't like his game. And on the other end, I have a very close friend in the game who I talk to about the game all the time, and he loves him. There are guys I talk to in this league and I probably have a group of 8 guys that I talk to, with regularity, and it really has taken me years to figure out. Okay, he sees the game this way, he sees the game this way, he sees the game this way, and then you filter the information you're getting. And like one of my favorite guys to talk to, we don't see the game the same way at all. And I mean, I love his stuff. I love talking to him. I love his point of view. I filter it through his filter into my filter and figure out if there's any value to it. But generally, he and I don't see the game the same way. He's almost exclusively offensive. So when you go take some guy you've never heard of before or don't know anything about, and he makes a comment, and you got to figure out who you believe in and whose information is actually worth reacting to. That's the only thing I would tell you. I mean, and I think what's difficult, really, for most people out there, and this is what I think makes it difficult, and I'm not going to get specific here, but you've got 5 or 6 people as a Jazz fan who really are feeding you most of your information. I don't think all of them see the game right. Right? I mean, and it's funny because if you think about what their jobs are, like a talk show host's job is to put on a good talk show and be entertaining. A beat writer is supposed to write. He actually doesn't have any part of his job that actually is to be able to know basketball or understand how to see the intricacies of the game. He's really just supposed to be a storyteller about that day. And yet, in this day and age of Twitter, both those people, beat writer or talk show host, are putting out information kind of with their opinion on. Everyone's become a columnist. You've got to really be careful of who you're filtering your information from and who you believe. And then the third part of that is who understands what the Jazz do and how the Jazz play the game and what they're trying to do. We do it differently. So I just think, but I also would tell you, like, you've still seen more Favors and more Hayward than anybody does in a summer league U.S. select team scrimmage setting. You know more than they do. Believe in yourself too is what so. Anyway, I think that's really interesting to watch. So Kanter and Burks yesterday both had pretty poor games. That was not an acceptable performance by either. Let me give them a litany of excuses, and then we'll delve into why they didn't play as well as they should have, or what they need to do. The litany of excuses. First, I actually think it's interesting that they haven't done summer league before, and therefore it may be because they haven't done summer league before, they actually may not have known what was coming. And to some extent, you know, you look at the roster, oh, I'm the best player out there, I'm going to roll. The guys who aren't on NBA teams, the Michael Stocktons of the world, are playing their lives out because they're just trying to make an impact. And I think you better be ready to equal that impact, equal that effort. And our guys didn't do that. Second thing is they're not playing very good players. And the third thing that's just the killer about summer league is every single one of these guys knows. We saw this out of Sims, the Jazz power forward from Georgetown. Like, there's a bunch of things, if you read all the things on Sims, he's an all right player. He's not going to play in the NBA, I don't think. Maybe, as a 12th man, but not, or 15th man. But he doesn't have a dribble drive game. He doesn't have an outside shot. He lacks some athleticism. So what's the first thing he tries to do? He tries to hit a 16-footer, and he tries to put the ball on the floor and drive. He falls over on the ground when he tries to drive. Because he knows what everyone says he can't do. He knows what he's been working on to try to prove he can do it. And then he turns around and tries it in a game, and he can't do it. And it just makes for kind of a mess. So summer, if you look, Marshawn Brooks, who's probably the best player there after last year's performance, was 0 of 11 yesterday? He's got a lot of stuff going on. And I didn't think Brandon Knight was very good, and he's going up against Michael Stockton, Mike Glass, and Blake Ahern. That was okay, but Brandon Knight should be killing people because it's a guard league. It's not a big man league either. Traditionally, big men don't have a good game. I thought it was interesting. Andre Nicholson had a nice game for whoever he's on, Orlando. So that was good. And Jared Sullinger and Perry Jones III both played pretty well, which is good. They basically should. They've been playing college basketball, and they're playing something similar to that, a little higher talent, but not a great deal higher. But the issue on both those guys was never their skill level. It's whether their bodies can hold up. Perry Jones supposedly got 3 years in his knees from different reports, and Sullinger, the question is on his back. I think, and I didn't actually think Perry Jones III was that good. So that's a good example for first time. You also got to make sure you're not getting skewed by announcers when you watch it. Like, they decided that Andre Drummond was the story. People were turning into that game to watch Andre Drummond, so they're just going to talk about Drummond the whole time. And he was kind of an enigma going into the draft, and he's the draft pick, and so he's the story. I didn't think he played very well, and I didn't think Kanter got beat. Kanter wasn't good, but I didn't think Drummond beat Kanter. If you kind of get into the specifics, Drummond hits a fadeaway 16-footer over him. Fine, let him take that shot every time. He drives on him. Kanter blocks him. Kanter draws 2 fouls on him, gets an over-the-back call on him. Kanter goes into the post twice, kicks out to 2 guys, Ahern and Stockton, for threes. So Kanter didn't play well. What I wanted to see was some sort of development of a new post move, which, again, it's hard. You're asking him to do that in the last month and a half, but it wasn't there. But I'll also tell you how often I watch, whether it's Jeremy Evans or watch Enes Kanter, and I watch them all work on a move. And I'll watch them work on a move for a month straight on the court, and they never have the confidence to integrate it into a game. It's one thing to be working on it against Mike Sanders and Sidney Lowe and to be working on the various footsteps on it and the various things you do in practice and trying to work on it occasionally in a one-on-one game with a guy. But then when it gets into the prime, you're a young player in prime time with everything on, it is awfully hard to integrate that move. And we didn't see that. We saw the up and under Kanter, which was nice, and then you could see where Kanter kind of thought about doing other things and kind of stalled him. I was more discouraged on Kanter. I thought in the second half just everything was a little bit over the edge of his fingers. And is that he's just not quite in good enough shape right now? Is that what was that? He does lack athleticism. And one of the better tweeter guys out there kind of said, well, who's a big man that's ever not been able to jump? A ton, like Kevin Love. I can run the list. So if that's not a death sentence, as Carlos Boozer, that's not a death sentence at all. But it means he's got to learn how to play. And up until last year, everything Kanter ever did was to overpower people because he was simply physically bigger and taller than everyone. And so now at 20 years old, he's got to learn what moves he can do, what moves he can't do, how he's going to integrate them, and gain some confidence in some other things. And again, the time period from the end of the season to now is not very big. So expecting to see dramatic change, I think, is is a little much to ask. The Burks didn't play well. That's actually more discouraging to me than anything else. It depends how you look at Burks. I'm a Burks guy. I believe in him. I think he's really skilled. You know, the book on him coming out of the league, according to everyone, was two things. One, he was too cool for school, and two, he doesn't play well off the ball. That everything he just does is on the ball. And if that was the paradigm, which I was sitting with one of my buddies who didn't like him coming out of the draft, and we were at the game together yesterday. That guy, my buddy, would kill me. Because that's what Burks looked like yesterday. He looked like he was too cool for school. He didn't think this was going to be hard. He jacked an early shot that was off the shot clock, was unnecessary. And he didn't impact the game off the ball, meaning defensively or offensively running his cuts and doing those kind of things. You know, it's interesting. I thought most reaction was to Kanter, at least coming to me. I was probably more concerned about Burks. I'm not really concerned about either of them. It's a single data point in a bizarre circumstance, and we'll see how they play. If they play like that for the remaining 5 days, then I'd say they got a whole hell of a lot of work to do between October and now. But that's really when the work is done, by the way. You have August, September, and into training camp. That's when the work is going to be done more than any other time. I thought Murphy was okay. I liked the fact he got his shot off. I wasn't sure he was going to be able to do that after watching the video, and the draft video is out for Murphy. Final things, we talk a lot about the corner three. Gosh, we're 16 minutes in. We get to the corner three. This is some great stuff done by Kurt Goldsberry, who was kind of the star of Sloan. The 10 best corner three guys in the NBA last year: Ray Allen at 50%, Courtney Lee at 49%, Steve Novak at 48%, Nick Young at 48%. Young just switched teams, by the way. Chase Budinger at 47%. Jamal Crawford at 46%. Ryan Anderson at 45%. Danny Green, who just signed with the Spurs, at 44%. Jason Terry at 44%. And Brandon Rush at 44%. The teams that hit the most from the corner three were Golden State, or hit, had the best percentage. Golden State was at 46%, Boston at 43%, Houston at 43%, Orlando at 42%, Oklahoma City at 41%, San Antonio at 41%. Now, that's pretty incredible. Golden State adds Harrison Barnes, and they're that good. Golden State that's going to be very interesting to see. The worst in the NBA was Philadelphia at 31%. They've added Nick Young. The Jazz were the second worst corner three team in the NBA at 32%. Charlotte was at 34%. Toronto was at 34%. New Jersey was at 34%. And I don't think this will stun you in any way, shape, or form. I'm trying to look something up as we're doing this, of if I can find what Marvin Williams and Mo Williams corner three numbers are. I just thought you are probably begging that right now. The most corner threes by any team: Atlanta had made 6.7 a game. San Antonio made 6.7. Portland 6.4. Clippers 6.2. And excuse me, those are attempts. But so Atlanta, San Antonio, Portland, the Clippers, and Denver took the most. Charlotte took the least, followed by Utah, Memphis, Philadelphia, and New Orleans. So very interesting to see how that plays. Now, I'm looking up right now to wrap this up today on the Marvin Williams. I believe I can find on NBA.com what he did on the corner three. Mo Williams, too. I'm not sure you really want your point guard down in that corner. It causes a bunch of defensive problems. But if I'm looking here, corner three last year, Marvin Williams hardly shot any. Oh, wait, these are playoff numbers. Playoffs, he was 1 of 8. Regular season corner three, Marvin Williams was 38% from the corner three. 23 of 61 from the corner three for Marvin Williams. And above the break, he was a 29% three-point shooter. So that's 38%. It's not out of this world, but it's pretty darn good when you consider Brandon Rush was at 44% last year. So I would say that's about as, you know, he's not one of the elite, but he's pretty darn good on the corner three. When we look at Mo Williams, Mo Williams is pretty darn good on the corner three, too, at 39%. Oh, excuse me, at 40% on the corner three for Mo Williams last year and 39% on the above the break. So the Jazz have certainly added two guys that shoot the corner three far better than anyone else. The year before, Mo was not as good. He was just he didn't shoot very many in the year before playing the point. So it's how he's going to get down there to be able to shoot those is probably eye-opening. If you want the comparison, he replaces C.J. Miles, who shot the corner three at 29% last year, and Raja Bell, who rings the bell from the corner, feeling as though he hit that very well last year. And the truth of the matter is, he did 44%, 15 of 34. There's your corner three analysis. There is this edition of Tip Off. I hope you're great and enjoyed it. Full 20 minutes. I'm just a blabbermouth. See ya.